Now then, with this completed, go up to the front. I actually put this part here to test it out. This one goes in there. But before I do that, we have this turret here that goes onto this, like so. Plus a little turret here that goes in the back, like so. I still get a kick on the fact that pretty much the majority of the weapons are on top of the ship, not on the bottom or all over the place. Yes, there are weapons here, but you would imagine there'll be more turrets under here for you know, under side attack. But let's go back here again. So we have this part here that goes like this in there, and then there are two little notches there that you put these two parts. Which, trying to find where it goes. There we go. So one goes there. I gotta be careful with the I gotta be careful with some of the sticky parts that sticks out. That one goes there, and this one goes here to hold it into place, followed by this one that goes up there. Okay, so that completes this detail parts here. This is something that I am definitely want to remove, because I want to make sure that this is painted properly along with this, even if I have to hold it with tape. But I don't want to, you know, damage this and paint it over. I don't know, I'm a little bit queasy with these, especially under here as well, and this one, which can be bent easily, so I gotta be very careful. Alright, let's continue on putting on parts of this kit. Alright, so I removed this part so I could put the stand on, because I don't want this thing lying on the workbench and I break some of the antennas and pointy thingies under it during the course of this build. So we're going to use the sand to hold this part into place. There are some parts here that I had to really sand down to the point where hopefully when I paint it, it doesn't show. And some of the wings, some of the fins are so small and delicate that sometimes you have to hold on to it very tight so that way it doesn't fly off. But you also don't want to hold on to it too tight where it will damage the part, and then that's all she wrote. So with this part here, I'm going to put this one here, which I'll take it off later on and put glue on, but we'll put that over here. So that's done. I assemble this part together into two pieces. Take this one, put this one here, and I believe I need this one here as well. Let me double check. Oh. Okay, that was actually smart on my part, but there's always workarounds. Ugh. Hang on a second. Okay. There we go. So that one goes here. And we take this part. Slide that one in here. And we put it on top of this. Then we take this part, followed by this, which I thought I sanded down. Give me a second. in here like so. And we have these two parts. One goes like that. Whoops. Let's try that again. And it goes here, like that. Then we have these two parts, these two dark parts here. I believe one goes there. Yeah, like that. And put the other one in here, like so. A lot of vents. Before we put that on, we're going to put the turrets. One goes there, the other one goes there, and you have this one that looks like a miniature rumba that goes there. Whoops. Right. Then we have the actual bridge, which has a fin. So it looks like that. That goes into place like so. Now I think we need to put, I'm gonna make sure which one, I think this goes in first. So it's the trim parts for this that goes into place like so. There we go. Then this part goes here. And then you have these mini, I guess, these things are going to fall off. You have these little mini, I would probably call anti-battery guns. One goes in, two goes in the back, to the sides. One goes on top here. So this pretty much covers everything, you know. These anti-battery guns cover anything from behind for the tanks. Alright, so that completes that section of the build. So far so good. Let's continue on. Alright, so what I was doing recently now is putting on these little fins here. There's a tremendous amount of these little fins that you have to put on the side of the ship. Here, and then all the way up front, as you can see here, which was a bit of a chore to do. And I didn't want to waste, you know, time showing it to you guys because this takes a lot of time because these parts are very, very small. You got to come off the tree very easily. Don't use the clippers. I use this to clean up the excess in the bottom, and using tweezers and glue, I applied it in each area. Now I'm waiting for it to dry so I can sand down some of the marks that the glue left, and I have some very, very, very delicate, like sanding pencil type things, which I can't seem to find right now, but I'll find it. And I'm going to clean it up. But the last thing on this kit that needs to be done is putting on the engine, where you need to take, let me see here, I take this part and this part here, put it in like so. Put that in like so. Then we have the remaining wings, or yeah, I have to call them wings. But 3 of them here, one on the top, 2 on the sides. This one's here. And then a different color one on the bottom. There we go. That pretty much completes the Garmillas Battleship. Now I'll also put these little parts here because these things were also very small. Now there are more parts, more of the little wingy things that goes in the bottom. I won't show that to you guys right now. Again, that takes time, but pretty much this is complete. This is what it looks like. So wow, that's really nice. Alright, once I finish putting on the little wings, let's go on building the next set of ships. So now we're going to work on the small destroyer ships, the escort ships for the Garmillas Battleship. And as you can see here, all these parts pretty much dictate the size of, the amount of parts you need to build this. We're going to begin with these parts here, the clear parts, which I believe one goes here all the way in, and then the flip side we do the same thing. Oops. Now grab this part, push this in here until it goes all the way through. Just a little bit of something in there. Don't want to grab it. There we go. And then grab this little part, put that here, and then seal it up like so. Alright, flip it over, put it on the bottom part of the ship here, and then put this one here as well, so it stays into place. Now of course there's a part here that is used to cover the little base, the connector, but we're going to leave that alone because we're going to put the connector on later on. We do have to put in the belly cannon, and then this little trim part, which is like a little mini rudder. So it looks like that. Flip it up like that. We have this little part here that goes into the here like so. And then we have this part here that goes in like so as well. Now, this weapon, or this part, is made up of 3 parts. It's like a missile launching system. Sanding it down, I try to sand it around because there's these little parts here, little Aztec indentation that sticked out. But no matter how many tries I sanded it down, it didn't come out right, so I sanded the whole thing down. So before I put this on, I want to put this weapon on, one of the rear cannons. Goes here, followed by this part that goes here. The main tower. You have this little part here that goes in like so, and then the rear part goes in like so as well, and then you stick it in here. Main bridge goes in like that, with a little winglet that goes in the back here. And then you have the side wings. One goes here. The other one goes there. You have these 2 parts here that looks like rocket launcher type weaponry that fires forward. It doesn't have any forward cannons that can pivot. on this small little destroyer. Am I putting it in the right place? I believe not. I am putting it in the right place. Just didn't see it right. Yeah, this ship, and I'm going to show you an example of something else, but this ship, you know, has no forward. These are actually missile launcher firing vertically, and then you have this one that pivots and fires in the rear and rear cannon. And then of course you have the two firing cannons here. I don't know if these are cannons or missiles. I know there's that scene, that battle scene when it went up against the Comet Empire fleet. I have to review it again. I don't know if I believe these ships were involved. All right, so these two are placed in. Then we have the wings. Wait a minute. Yeah, this was it, I believe. So that goes in all the way like so. This one goes all the way in like so. Then one goes here. And the other goes there. Then we have this part that goes here. There's a notch here, so it will go into the right place. And I'm sorry, I forgot to pull out, I believe it's this one. The rear the thruster pointy thing. I just sand it down. I believe it's. I think if I put this on, it doesn't show a lot. And of course, this thing flies out of my hands. And you know what? I have a distinct feeling I pulled out the wrong one. Yes, I did. I pulled out the wrong one. They have so many thrusters here. I guess from the previous kits. Yeah, it's this one, unfortunately. I apologize. Let's hope this doesn't fly off my hand. There we go. And there she goes. I don't have to sand it down because it actually exposed well. But there, you know, covered well, I mean. So there it is. Now, there are two little winglets here that go here, and here, which I'll put on later on. But that completes the destroyer. And to give you a comparison of the, how can I say this, the mechanical changes that went from the previous to the newest. Here's an old version of the Garmillas destroyer cruiser type ship that was introduced back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, and here is of course the equivalent. Big difference. Plus the fact that this was atrocious and horrendous. But yeah. So I gotta sand this little part here down. I got to put on these, and this will complete my destroyer fleet. Let's now move on to the next stage of this build.